Am I live? Fucking live. Am I fucking live? Are we live, dude? Oh my goodness. I'm live on a non Saturday. Ah, shit. I gotta change the thumbnail. It's Sean Strickland. It's UFC Texas. One sec. Big as the Super Bowl. There you go. Thumbnail changed. Let me put my chat on my phone. I mean, I could just put it on the screen. Let's see. Anyone here yet? I have not looked at chat. No one is here yet. Oh, someone is here. We got freaking my guy Torin Brown, brother. We got my guy Ricemer, 89. What's up, boys? What's up? Ice, baby. Yes, Sean Strickland. I'm still, coming off of that Sean Strickland. I'm still happy with that performance from Strickland. I still thought, it was pretty awesome. I'm seeing the aftermath of it. I just had 3 fucking ads before the live stream. Let me see. The ad, let me see. Monetization says low. It should be on low. It should be on low. Is Israel putting ads on my? I don't know. You shouldn't get any ads for a while. It should be on low. Sorry about that. Well, it's not my fault. I don't run this platform. You remind me of Max Holloway. You are the second guy to say that. What's Punisher? He's a member of this community and No Bromo's community. He also says I look like Max Holloway. So you're the second guy to say that. Thank you. I guess. I don't know. What's up, my guy Stale Cheese? We got a few of the boys in here. We're just going to be yapping a little bit. And after this stream, I'm going to go record my... I want to do like a reaction to all the fights that have been announced, kind of like what Bedtime just did, which I was watching a little bit of it before I went live. I just want to do like a reaction to all the big fights because there's been some fights. Moicano versus Duncan's a cool fight. I know I've seen some people complain in a little bit. I like we could look at it, right? We usually end up doing this, right? You do look a little like Max Holloway mixed with Brandon Royval. That's interesting. Okay, I mean, I guess I'll take it. I don't know. Max Holloway's one of my goats, so I guess I'll take it. Okay, let's look at I want to look at the you're the third guy to say that. So we got 3 people saying I look like Max Holloway throughout this YouTube journey that I've been on. I do want to look at some of the Fight Night main events. I know that did you see the batshit rumors about Protest McGregor? I actually did. I did see those rumors, and it doesn't really make sense if they want Conor to win. It really doesn't make any sense. Like, if they want him to win his comeback, why are they putting him against Protest? It's not even winnable. Like, okay, put him against like Gilbert Burns, Mike Malott, maybe even Kamaru Usman, but Carlos Protest is actually ridiculous, bro. I don't know. Those are some crazy rumors. I thought they were going to actually match up McGregor with Roofy. I thought that they were going to put him with the other fighting nerd or former fighting nerd, but yeah, the Protest rumors. I mean, he's going to slime out McGregor, but like it's a sick fight in terms of like star power, but I don't know. Weird fight. Like, he's going to slime him out, bro. It's just going to be like, "Oh yeah, like what are they thinking?" He's gonna slime him out so bad. I would say Max does have a weak ass shin, but he ain't ugly. He's not a bad looking guy to be honest. It's just, you know, brother, we gonna find out if BX look like me. We got to get Max Holloway. Well, Max Holloway actually does. He is a streamer, right? I feel like Max Holloway is actually like I'm surprised like Guru or like the other guys haven't like done like a Max Holloway interview or something. I don't know. Cuz he is a streamer. He actually does like game and stuff, right? So I'm surprised he hasn't been on like big streams or interviews or nothing. And I don't mean Max is chinny. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean. He's got like a soy, like Andrew Tate chin. I know what you mean. Who should Sean Strickland fight next? I mean, it's tough, right? Because it's like low key. If I'm running the UFC, I would kind of give him the title shot and just capitalize on the momentum. Just say, you know what, fuck it. Let's do Strickland Hamzat at the White House, or maybe not the White House for obvious reasons, but maybe the card after that. I don't know. Maybe they will do that. Maybe they'll skip over a Mavov. Maybe they'll do a Mavov versus Dricus, Hamzat versus Strickland. But I think what's realistically going to happen is Strickland's going to wait for a title shot. And if he's, I don't know. I could see him waiting for a title shot, but knowing Hamzat, bro, he's going to have one fight this year and dip. So I don't know. I wouldn't do that if I was Strickland. But if he's not going to fight Hamzat, it's kind of got to be Hamzat, bro, right? It's got to be a title shot next because it's like he's beaten a Mavov. He already fought Dricus twice. He beat Brendan Allen. He beat like Paulo Costa, who's not even in the division. He beat Fluffy just now. The winner of RDR Baraujo. No, I don't even want that. Just give him a title shot. Like, just give him a title shot. Just give him a title shot. Conor versus Bobby Green is the fight. That's a better fight. That makes more sense. That's way more like sensible. And Bobby Green is still a name, you know? It's more sensible, it's more doable. It just makes more sense. Don't give him Carlos freaking Prates or even Rufy. Prates is arguably a 185 or 2. That's a tough climb for Khan to Don. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But it does, I guess, explain. Dana saying that, the Chandler and the Jorge fights were goofy fights. It does explain it if that's what they were giving the guy. Jeez, man. Max got that wide jaw. Yeah, he's got a freaking... That is, I don't know. I think that could just be from like damage. He's got like the thing where Max Holloway invented bone smashing, but just by fighting. He's been bone smashing his whole freaking life. Honestly, I'm pretty sure his jaw was not like that when he first started. Or maybe he does a lot of jaw exercises and that's why he has a good chin. I heard Conor pick Prates because he would only fight someone else who also does cocaine from time to time. Hey, man, Prates gets wild. Imagine Conor and Prates fight. Prates slimes out McGregor. They go for a freaking party afterwards. That party would be insane. My guy, Nitro. He says, brother is live? How? Yes, I am live. The rare occasion. But I'm going to try to make it less rare, But I am live. I will be recording a video after this that will be coming out later tonight. Yeah, we are live. What's up? I want to look at some of these main events as well in a second, but I want to keep yapping to you guys. If MVP, sorry, what the fuck? What's up, John Doe, by the way, or John Dong? If MVP was still at middleweight, how would him versus Strickland go? Wait, hold on one sec. Reisemer, 89. Sorry for yelling in the mic. Thank you for the 199 or pound 199 euros, I think. Also, Prates is a fucking liberal. Is he? I didn't know that, actually. Is Carlos Prates a liberal? I actually didn't know that. Let's see. Carlos Prates. Thank you again for the 199, brother. You legend. Yeah, these Prates McGregor rumors are pretty strong right now, by the way. You search up Prates. I mean, a lot of people are posting about it, but I didn't know he was a liberal. You got to break that down for me a little bit. Again, thank you for the 199, my guy, brother. What was I saying? Sorry. Again, thank you. Okay, the question was if MVP was still on middleweight, how would him versus Strickland go? MVP was still on middleweight, how would him versus Strickland go? That's actually a good question. That's a great question. That is a good question. Fuck, if MVP versus Strickland. Ooh. That's tough. I could see like first of all, I could see that being pretty boring. I think Strickland's got to try to wrestle. I know like he has this like mythical wrestling that he never uses, but if I'm Strickland, I would at least try to wrestle him a bit. Ah, I might lean Strickland. I might lean Strickland. It's just that MVP is so what's the word? He's such a counterpuncher, and Strickland is also really a counterpuncher. It's just how's that gonna look? Two counterpunchers, counterpunch. It's gonna be really tough. I'd probably lean towards Strickland at this point. I think he could still land some teeps to the body. Um, I think when MVP comes in, Strickland has good timing. He could catch him. I'll lean Strickland. A 5 rounder, I actually think. Yeah, a 5 rounder, I'd also lean Strickland. Jaw or Sizer. Armin should rope Max. All right, listen. All right, all right. No, freaking. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. MVP is really good. People forget, man. He dominated Cock Gary. I do agree. I do agree. I think MVP is very good. I think MVP. You know, I think he's sort of, dare I say, one of the best strikers in the UFC, in MMA. I wouldn't say he's underrated because I think most people know how good he is. I wouldn't say he's underrated, but he's great. SMH UFC makes dumb decisions. Why don't they book Moicano Duncan for UFC 326 and why didn't UFC book Buckley Brady for 326 as well? SMH. Yeah, I do agree with that. I'm just more upset that Buckley Brady is not in a crowded arena and it's in the Apex. That kind of upsets me a little bit more. I'm fine with it being a fight night main event. I do agree on the Moicano one, though. That one's kind of weird. I don't know. It's just, I don't really know what they're doing. Ricer, again, thank you for the 199 euros. He says he dissed Ice for no reason during a Brazilian event. I mean, I don't even think it means he's a liberal. He's just, that's kind of like the thing to say now is fuck Ice, dude. Like, I think that's just like a very, he's probably got people around him that say stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I think that's just kind of like I wouldn't say like the cool thing to say, but that's just like, you know. But protest. He's got CT. Go easy on my boy. But again, thank you, Reisemer, for the 199 euros. I appreciate it, brother. Bro, Strickland would beat the shit out of MVP. I kind of lean towards Strickland, but MVP wouldn't be able to handle the pressure similar to Izzy, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm leaning Strickland as well. It seems like you guys are on the same page. Sean Sal throws off timing. Yeah, the timing as well. I agree for sure. You guys are on the same page as me. Armin beats Ilya in Twitch streams. Dude, imagine Ilya would probably he'd probably freaking break records on a stream, right? We got to get Ilya on the stream. Just you guys just DM him, say that I'm a Spanish MMA YouTuber. Say I'm a big fan, and you have to grapple MVP. Yeah, it's so hard to catch him, but he still gets to the ground. But if it gets to the ground, MVP is done. Yeah, I do think so. I also think Strickland is stronger than MVP. Like, I think he could. Yeah. Strickland versus Ateba. Who wins? I'll pick Strickland. Strickland for now. Yeah, Strickland for sure. Guzzi trains with Sean and says it's not Sean's skill at wrestling, it's his tank. He's impossible to wear down and probably why he's confident against Boers. Yeah, I honestly am leaning toward. What do you guys think? I'm leaning towards Strickland beating Hamza. What do you guys think about that fight? I don't know actually. I'm okay. I'll say I won't say I'm picking him, but I think he has the best chance. Can we agree on that? Sean Strickland has the best chance of beating Hamza Chimaev. I think that's fair to say, right? Like, I'm fine with you not liking Ice and Trump, but if you have legit reasons, but he's a fucking, yeah, I think he's just misinformed. My guy, No Bromo. Collab coming soon, No Bromo, right? BXG's looking extra Mexican today. Yeah, you got the freaking, I guess I look, I've been told I look like Max Holloway today, and now Mexican. Viva la raza. Ice tried to smoke me, SMH. Well, I'm glad you're here to watch a stream of mine, then. I'm glad I didn't get you, bud. It happens to the best of us. Don't hide the hairline. You guys keep saying this. I have a good hairline. I just don't want to spend an hour fixing my hair when I could just put something on my head and go live or record. Anyways, Stop being gay, guy. You guys are being a bit gay, all right? Now I sound like MMA Guru. Why do you guys care about my hair? You guys sound fucking gay. Noche BXG. What's up, Goblin? Sean is very good at dealing with range merchants due to his closed hands frames on the arms. Closed hands frames on the arms. He can close distance so fast. His timing is extremely good. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see it. See what? What, that I look Mexican or that I look like Holloway? Or Sean talking about training room shit isn't the coolest, but let us know he has something to stand. Yeah, I like. That's another reason why I think Strickland has a better chance than most, is that he actually has like been in there with Hamza. Not been in there, but like been in the training sessions with Hamza. He's felt, his strength, his timing, his speed a little bit. Even not to like an extreme level or anything, don't get me wrong. Like, it's just sparring and training, and probably not really hard sparring. But, he still sparred with him. He still trained with him. He still kind of has an understanding of Hamza and a few things about him. Even just seeing him train from a distance, seeing him train in person and fight in person, it helps. I'm picking Strickland. Only thing to finish, cam shot. Wait, what does that say? Oh, goat. Or sheep. Goat or sheep? I think it's a goat. The goat is the only thing to fit. Yeah, you got to throw a goat and just distract him. Strickland has, or spray him in the eyes with goat milk. Strickland has elite get-ups, especially against the fence. He's really good at getting that 3 points of contact. Yeah, his get-ups are incredible as well. I have to burp. Strickland versus Cardio. Chimaev is a great fight. Hamza better hold him down or he'll get beaten up. What's up, Johnny Monday, by the way? Strickland versus Cardio. Hamza is a great fight. Hamza better hold him down or he'll get beaten up. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like another good point is I feel like I feel like Strickland is gonna make Hamza work more than like Drickus did or these other guys have made him work in the past. And I don't know. Solid casual Bromo impression. Listen here, lad. Okay. Only 1 week from UFC 326. Are you excited? Good question. Am I excited for UFC 326? Yeah. I mean, we could look at the card now, right? Let me see. We could take a look at the card, actually. I low-key forgot what the card is. Holloway, my cousin, my brother, my twin, as you guys would say. Of course I'm excited. I think I'm sticking to my guns. I think he's beating Oliveira, but I know I'm going to be wrong. I've been really bad on picks. Okay, Holloway, Oliveira you got the co-main event. Okay, so officially it seems like the co-main is Braulio versus RDR. Rob Font, Raul Rosas Jr. It's a solid fight. I don't love that they kind of like, this was literally supposed to happen like 6 months ago and then like it fell through because of Raul and then they just like rebooked it. I hate when they do that. It's just like move on, But they obviously really think this is a good matchup for Raul Rosas Jr. To industry plan him into the top 10. You know how this shit goes. Gregory versus Bruno Ferreira is going to be a banger, but it is a rematch. Don't love that. It's not the best card, to be honest with you guys, but it's a UFC card in 2026. I'm excited. I don't know. I always feel like the UFC, maybe not, like, what am I trying to say? Maybe this is only like in the last, few years, in the last recent years, but I feel like the beginning of the years are starting off really slow. Like last year was the same way. It started off so ass, bro. This one, I'm not saying it's ass, but it's not starting off the best. The fight nights do look good. I like the fight nights a lot. Aren't you from Michigan? Sure. I'll just say I am. Before my first BJJ lesson, I basically just watched tutorials on escapes, annoyed my instructor for about 2 hours. I feel like that's the sort of thing Strickland would do. Yeah, it's like Strickland just becomes the coach, right? Cap over beanie? I agree. I usually do wear the cap over the beanie. I prefer it as well. I hear Chimaev trains like he fights. It's all gas, no breaks, and that's what Sean was telling him in that clip where he was telling him to chill out. I do remember that. I actually do remember that. And Sean also claimed that like what Chimaev does is he'll go hard on like smaller guys, and Strickland says he doesn't do that. He goes hard on the bigger guys or something, which is true. Like Sean does train with a lot of heavyweights. I've seen that. Like Strickland does, like he does spar with like Ankalaev, or he used to spar with like Ankalaev, I think Ngannou he would spar with. I think so. I could be wrong on that one. We know he still spars with Pereira regularly during their camps. So he does spar with a lot of like heavier guys. That is a good point from Sean. So I find it pretty. I don't find that hard to believe from Sean. Also, Chimaev is garbage defensive striking. Yep, I've said the same thing. And Strickland is probably the third best jab in UFC history. Yep, I agree. I agree. Especially on the defensive striking point. I think a lot of people forget, man. I think people forget like Hamza's like striking is still pretty ass. My guy Bromo, I just dropped in to say hello, but I'm going to sleep, my guy. Speak soon. Hey, man. Have a good rest. God bless you. Sweet dreams. Pause. No gay shit. I mean, no bromo. No homo. Yeah. I'll see you soon, buddy. I thought Process was for sure fighting JDM next. But that yeah, I thought so too. I really thought it was going to be either Process JDM or Morales JDM. But that call he posted doesn't sound like it would be JDM. And it seems like Process is training for something, so he's got a fight coming up soon. He's got a fight coming up real soon, so I don't know what's going on right now. It seems like things are in motion, but I just don't know like what those things are. But like a lot of guys are like Morales is saying he's coming soon, and I would imagine Jack is coming soon. I'm picking Font. I might pick Font as well. I actually might pick Font as well. I don't know. I don't think Raul Rosas Jr. is that good. His striking is still pretty ass to me, and I know he's young and he could, improve, but his last fight, his striking was awful, and like his grappling is not that great. Sorry. Chimaev throws wife hooks or blasts loaded up straights, and he does like just throw a lot of like sloppy punches. The Gilbert fight showed he's not natural. Yeah. To be honest, I don't put much stock into a fighter's political opinion. Same for actors. Yeah, same with me, to be honest with you. I don't even like people in general, like just in real life. I don't care about their political stuff. If they added Brady Buckley and Moicano Duncan for UFC 326, those fights would have. Yeah, like now that you say it, like looking at the card, it actually could use some fights like that. I agree with you for sure. Looking at this card, it's like, you got like. Hold on, I'm not showing my screen. It's like, Rob Font versus Rosas on the main card. I don't know. Like it. The thing is, these fights are going to be good, but it's just like I don't know. I hope they're just saving good fights for like the White House and beyond. I really do. Because I know this is a slightly rough period right now. It's not the worst. I think last year was low-key worse. Last year was worse, in my opinion. I know people might disagree, but bro, last year we had like Drickus Strickland 2. Nobody cared. We had Moicano versus Makachev. Bro, what else was there? Last year started off like really cheeks, bro. Heard Ank got salty that Sean was cool with Alex and helped him prep for Ank. Yeah. Which speaks to the rounds and intel he had on Ank. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of fair for Ank Live to be a little bit salty, but at the end of the day, Strickland, him and Pereira him and Alex have developed a good relationship, right? No hooker, yeah. Are you from the hood? I don't know. What do you consider the hood, bud? Yeah, I'm from O Block for sure, bud. If we overload number cards, then the fight night's gonna suffer, and the weeks. Yeah, that's a good point as well, right? And that's why I'm kind of like. That's why I'm sort of like I'm not really I really do kind of like these fight night main events coming up. Let's look at them now, right? Let's look at them now. I don't like the UFC Mexico one, which I'm surprised that's even still happening. Judging by what's happening in Mexico, I guess prayers for Mexico. But Holloway Oliveira, sick fight. I really love Josh Emme Vallejos. That's a sick fight to me as a main event. I think it's a perfectly fine Apex main event. Evloev Murphy is a number one contenders fight, sick fight. It might be boring, but it's still like two big names. Adesanya Piper, I mean, it's Adesanya. It's still a big name. Moicano Duncan is probably the weakest one of this lineup, in my opinion. Like, to me, this is not as exciting as like Vallejos Emmett, but that's just my opinion. But still, ranked guys, decent fight. And then it looks like, I don't know if this is going to be the main event or not, but Van versus Tara, it's probably not the main event, so you don't got to worry about that. Maybe it is though. And then Burns and Malott is cheeks. I don't really like that at all. And then Brady versus Buckley is an incredible fight night main event. I love that. It's gonna be sick. And then it's TBD. So isn't this one in China? Macau? Isn't that China or something? I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool. I mean, I think most of the main events are cool. Dan Hooker, Dan Hooker oiled up collabs when. How about never, kid? How about never? How about never? Hooker and Talbot training at Jeff Molina's gym. Yeah, we need that. Like that's like the new trio right there. Dan Hooker, Peyton Talbot, Jeff Molina, with John Jones overseeing the three. This is the new freaking Avengers of homosexuals. Ian Gary just started a training camp. Yes, Ian Gary. Yeah, true. Yeah, it seems like a lot of fights are about to happen. Ian Gary, Prates, obviously McGregor's return. Islam, I think, is training as well. So my guess is Ian Gary versus Islam. I could see a random like Morales Usman announcement. I don't know why. I could see that being like a fight night main event. What do you guys think? Like, I could see that being like a random like Morales versus Usman UFC Macau main event or something. I don't know. And then what else do we got? Prates, maybe McGregor, or Prates JDM is the two I'm going with. And then we already got Brady Buckley, right? So things should be happening. If Usman doesn't fight, it looks like Usman is, thank God, not getting a title shot. So I don't really care who he gets slimed out by. It's not my problem. Raul Rosas is a classic BJJ beta. Yeah, he's not really good to me. I feel like he's pretty shit. I live in Tennessee, the Nashville area. Nice, man, nice. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about Tennessee. Would you let Paramount ads? Would you take Paramount ads over paying $80 to see the main card every month? Yeah, I would take Paramount ads over. Yeah, of course. I would take it because at the end of the day, like I don't want to incriminate myself here. Well, I used to pay $80 for every single pay-per-view, but now I could just watch it on Paramount because I definitely really like just paid $80 like for every single pay-per-view. I actually no, I'm not gonna expose myself. Charles is gonna be Holloway. Charles is gonna KO Holloway. Don't say that, bro, please. Joe is going to win. Piper, I think so. I think so too. Yeah, Cheese, and he went to Georgia. He is in Georgia. Yeah, Ian Gary is actually in Georgia right now. I disagree. We had Yuri versus Jamal Hill, Marab versus Umar, and Alex versus Magomed. Gaethje fought Fiziev. Yuri versus Jamal Hill, Marab versus Umar. Oh, that's true, actually. That is true, to be fair. We did have some good fights to start the year. That is a good point. And plus, we at least had title, because you had 2 title fights as well, plus Alex and Goliath. That's a good point. You're right with that, actually. I kind of forgot about those fights. Yeah, maybe the UFC is washed now, actually. Yikes. We'll see. The White House card better be stacked to the brim if we're not getting these title fights. Because, like, where's Shevchenko? Where's Mackenzie Dern? We know Kayla Harrison's injured. And then it's like, okay, now Joshua Van is coming back. We don't know. Peter Yan, I think, is coming back in the summer. We know that. Volk, we don't know. Probably the summer as well for Volk. Maybe, like, early fall. I don't know. Hopefully the summer. I don't want Volk to have to sit out. Who else do we got? Ilya's coming back. White House. Islam probably right after the White House. And then Hamzat. Who knows with Hamzat? And then light heavyweight and heavyweight, we don't fucking know. So it's just like, it's a little bit of a mess, but we're kind of just waiting on a lot of things, I feel. We had more undisputed. Yeah, that's a good point, to be fair. There were more title fights for sure. I think TBD is going to win. Yeah, I wonder who that's going to be. I feel like we have way too many people. I feel like way too many people are counting out Holloway. I agree as well. I've seen a lot of people pick Charles over Holloway. 311 clears 324. Yeah. Agreed. Paramount is so effing overrated. Prates versus Morales. Ooh, that'd be good. 325 was superior to 312 though. Yeah, true. I can see Usman Morales being a co-main to a numbered event. That'd be sick. That'd be a sick fight. Yuri is in the middle of a training camp. Yeah, Yuri is training as well. So I'm guessing we're doing what, Yuri versus Olberg. Damn, that Yuri Chimaev rumor just like died so fast. Like that died like that. It just was like I'm glad I didn't really harp on it too much, because it died like instantly. It's gonna be Yuri versus Olberg. It's gonna be probably, Gane versus Pereira, like maybe at the White House or maybe like I don't know, sometime soon. And it's gonna be freaking who else? Aspinall is just gonna be like sitting out probably and fight the winner hopefully. Um, I would have taken Russian links. I'd rather see Usman versus Bilal. Ooh, I forgot about Bilal. Unironically, I forgot about Bilal. Oh my god. Yeah, Usman versus Bilal. You're right. Oh my god, I actually forgot about Bilal Muhammad. Not even trying to do a bit. Wow. I guess you could do Bilal versus Usman. That'd be a cool fight. They have beef. And that would be a good tough season. I agree with you. It'd actually be pretty funny and memeable, I feel. Yuri versus Olberg, who would you pick if it happens? Yuri, for sure. For sure. I can't pick against Yuri Prohaska, bro. I'm sorry. Unless you said, Yuri versus, like, Alex or Yuri versus, like, John Jones at heavyweight, then I'll pick the opponent. But, like, Yuri versus anybody at this point. That's in his weight class, at least. I think he's going to KO Olberg as well, like, in 2 rounds. I'm not saying Olberg is cheeks, but, like, it's Yuri Prohaska, bro. I'm sorry. Olberg is a good counterpuncher, and, like, he might snipe Yuri. Don't get me wrong. That does worry me that he might catch Yuri with something, a right hand on the back foot. But, like, I don't know, bro. It's Yuri. That's all I could say. If Yuri was fighting Hamzat, I'd pick Yuri to beat him, too. Charles has more power than Max. Yeah, true. Yeah, Charles is, I wouldn't say underrated power, but, like, I think people forget, man, Charles is incredible power. Loki wouldn't be surprised if we get JDM Usman. That'd be sick, too. That was a fight that I wanted even before JDM became champ, but it never really happened. I hope JDM slimes him out, too. And that makes sense, right? Because, I mean, JDM would probably want to fight a grappler, right? JDM Pratis has been rumored for weeks now. Okay. I'd like that. MMA Joey thinks Pratis is fighting Conor at the White House. Yeah, I've seen a few people. A lot of people have said this, Pratis versus Conor. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take Conor getting slimed out. It's random. It doesn't make any sense, but, they got names, I don't know. It does feel like the UFC just kind of want to, like, just do big name fights rather than, like, because, I mean, the fight, I don't know. It's a cool fight, but, like, we know what's going to happen. He's going to get slimed out. Like, I just don't get it. JDM, I love Max, but I got to root for Charles. I'm more of a Max guy. I'm more of a Max Holloway guy than a Charles guy. We had the entire 314 card announced in Feb. Is UFC still putting together the Miami card? Yeah, maybe it is worse. The only excuse I'll give them is they have a big White House card coming up, which is like their Super Bowl. It's their big event. I'll give them that excuse, but, like, what are they doing, bro? And then they wonder why, like, people pull out of, fights with injuries or why they don't fight. It's like, bro, when you call them on, like, 3 weeks notice and say, hey, you want to fight on this card? It's like, yeah, obviously they're going to pull out. Obviously they're not going to make weight either. That's why a lot of people miss weight. It's because a lot of these fights are short notice. I think Charles finds his chin. Who is that? Yeah, who's below? Who's below? How do you think Holloway deals with the pressure coming from Charles? Well, I do think Holloway does a good job of, like, dealing with pressure, moving on the back foot. I think he could do a good job of stopping Charles's pressure. Charles is still very hittable. That's the thing. I mean, I know he, like, kind of destroyed Gamrot with the grappling, but he was getting, like, tagged by Gamrot, he like, a little bit. I'm not saying he was getting, like, pieced up really bad, but, like, Gamrot was landing some pretty quality shots. He just has no power, and he's Gamrot. But he was actually landing on Charles in, like, round 2 or 3. I think it was 2, because the fight was only 2 rounds. And I feel like if that's Holloway, he's landing that and then 10 more. That's how quick he is. And I could see him speed mogging. Um, I could see him speed mogging Charles a little bit on the back foot. Um, being a bit elusive with his footwork, skating around a bit. And I think Max has great power too. I really do think Max has great power. BMF should. I mean, we saw that he dropped Poirier a few times. He almost finished Poirier in round one. He dropped Justin Gaethje, and he wasn't really hurting like Ilya though. But like I'm talking about at 155, his power is pretty good. Um, BMF should be an open weight belt. I actually agree with that. I thought of that as well. That's always a thought I had too. I always thought the BMF should be like an open weight type of thing. Maybe not like, oh, lightweight versus a heavyweight, but at least like, maybe it could be a case where it's like Max Holloway versus Jorge Masvidal for the, I don't know, they could fight at like 165 or something, I don't know. I don't think the BMF should be restricted to like just lightweight. It should probably be like featherweights, lightweights, and welterweights, That's my opinion. Charles doesn't know how to move side to side. He lacks basics. I don't know the fuck you all are talking about. Yeah, I got Max, man. I just feel like Max is so quick. He's so elusive. Charles is so hittable. I could see like Max just like speed mogging him a little bit, and just I think Charles. I'm not worried about like Max on the feet personally. I'm worried about Max on the ground. That's where I'm like, ooh. Because he's never faced a grappler like Charles Oliveira. We know he has great counter wrestling, great counter grappling like Dan Hooker, but we've never seen him like face a grappler like Charles. I could see them putting Jamal versus Azamat on 327. Yeah, there's a few good fights. When is wait, but I thought Paulo Costa was facing Azamat, or did that get canceled? I thought they were doing Costa versus him. Anyways, I think that'd be sick too. I disagree. Max is carrying more power at 155. Plus, he has a superior speed. I agree. Yeah. I'm leaning Max. The big issue for Max is that he can't really jump on Charles to finish him. He can. Yeah, that's what worries me more is the grappling. My voice just cracked. The grappling. He can't, and like you said, he can't really like. It's gonna be a case where if he drops Charles is gonna do the. Like what he did in the Gaethje fight, where he's like inviting him to come to the ground with him. You saw Topuria talking shit on Sean. Strickland? No, I did not. I can search it up now though. I'm not surprised. Like Strickland is kind of just like not liked by anybody. Let's see. Did he tweet it? Let me go to his Twitter. No, he didn't tweet nothing. Damn, his tweets go pretty viral, but I don't know if he uses bots. His last tweet got 106,000 likes from it, but I don't. Is this Ilya a bot? Let's be honest, guys, because that's kind of crazy. That's like Ronaldo numbers. All right, Ilya Topuria Strickland. Isn't it crazy? Ilya was supposed to face O'Malley though. The other Sean. I'm not seeing nothing. Maybe you're talking about O'Malley, but I don't really see nothing on O'Malley either. All right. Flyweight versus heavyweight. That'd be funny. Yeah, let's get Joshua Van versus Tai Tuivasa. That's a human experiment that we got to see. I want to see something. Yeah, Max definitely has a lot of pop in his punches at 155. Yeah, I think so. Paulo Costa keeping that. That's why I give Max a better chance of beating Ilya up a weight class than at one. What the fuck am I saying? I give Max a better chance of beating Ilya up a weight class than at 145. Dude, I struggle sometimes with these live streams, dude. That's why I don't go live a lot. It's just like Paulo Costa keeping that pull-out game sharp. Did he pull out of the Azamat fight? Is that what happened? I'm sick of the cheap bastards who run this organization. CM Punk gets paid $500K in his pro debut. Meanwhile, they can only afford to give Rico Verhoeven a $10K to win, $10K to show contract. They're just retarded. Like, they're just fucking retarded. They're just dumb. They're just dumb. It's just like my dog's barking. I think Ice is here. Anyways, no, they're just stupid. It's just like why are you why not bring a guy like Rico Verhoeven who could like just save heavyweight with one fight, or even save light heavyweight because that division's a little dry too, in just one fight. He could instantly save either of those. Well, I think he's a heavyweight. He's not a light heavyweight, right? He's too big to make light heavyweight. But he could save heavyweight like that, just instantly. You know, it's just like, why? Why? I'd give him 10 mil. I don't care if Rico Verhoeven wants, if he wants like 20 or 30 mil, that's ridiculous. But like 5 mil, 2 mil, 3 mil, why not? You might as well. They can't be that cheap, you know? Yeah, and they just, I just heard that like Conor Benn, some boxer, just got paid 10 mil by like Dana's new promotion. Yes, Max has more power at lightweight. Yes, that's very true. But Charles also has power, more power. I agree with that, I think. I do agree he has more power. Max via distance management. Yeah, see, people forget, man. Max Holloway's got the footwork of a Dan Hooker victim. I genuinely forgot that Costa Azamat. Yeah, I forgot as well. I haven't seen nothing about it. Is it happening at 327? Is that why I haven't really... Let me see. Paulo. I forgot it was happening as well. Paulo Azamat. Yes, it's happening on UFC 327 in Miami. Oh, why did they announce it so early? That's kind of weird, right? They announced this January that Azamat Murzakanov will fight Paulo Costa at UFC 327 April 11th. Yeah, that's why we kind of forgot, to be fair. Like, it literally got announced so long ago. But, yeah, I like this fight a lot. I love this fight, actually. I know it's random, but I think it's sick. If Paulo wins, we have a new star at light heavyweight. No, Azamat Murzakanov. Look. I'll show you right now. Look, see? Azamat Murzakanov will fight Paulo Costa at UFC 327 at light heavyweight. So Paulo has moved up to light heavyweight. Yes, Max has more power. I genuinely forgot who's fighting, kid. I don't know what fight you're talking about. No one's fighting today, I don't think. This Saturday we got UFC Mexico though. Max either sleeps Charles or Charles finds a way to take Max's back and Sons by decision. No in between. Yeah, I agree. I think it's either a Max Holloway, KO, TKO, or it's Charles Oliveira rear naked choke. I really do agree with that. That's why it's such a tough fight. It is a tough fight. I'm gonna look at some Max Holloway tape, and try to see like, okay, like who's. I'm gonna try to look at some of the grapplers he's faced, but any message for Dougie's Corner for not being Islamophobic enough? Dougie's Corner. I do think, man, that we need more Islamophobia in this world. I'm sorry. I take that back. No, I'm sorry. My voice cracked. My voice cracking was like, don't even continue that bit. Dougie's Corner. We need more anti-Islam Makachev. That's the kind of Islamophobia that I'm talking about. We need more anti-Islam Makachev. Anyways, I give up. They can't afford to be picky when it comes to signing new heavyweight. I don't understand. And that's the thing as well. It's like, the one thing I'll say, we've known this for many, many years, is that a lot of high-level heavyweight athletes are in other sports. But, yeah, that's because the UFC doesn't, like, pay shit. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, for sure, there's guys in the NFL that would be champions right now, except maybe Tom Aspinall. Like, they probably couldn't beat, like, Tom Aspinall or, like, I don't know who else is at heavyweight, to be honest with you, Cyril Gane. But, like, there's guys that are, like, in their early 20s that if you signed now from the NFL and, like, trained them, they'd be, like, in the top 5 at the very least. Who's the main event this weekend? It is, where is it? I don't know. Oh, it's Brandon Moreno, Loner Kavanaugh. That's probably the weakest main event we got coming up. I mean, in a sense, it's not, because, like, this is going to be a good fight. It's going to be a banger. Most likely, it's going to be like a KO or it's going to be like a finish, or it's going to be a great striking just banger. It's going to be a sick fight, but like it doesn't make any sense. And also Loner Kavanaugh's coming off of a KO loss, so it's just like, but I like it, and I'm a big fan of Brandon Moreno, so I'm one of like the only Brandon Moreno fans. I feel like a lot of people hate him. I always see him get like a lot of hate. I'm like, why? I don't know. It's kind of funny. Exactly. Base. Gonna feel like July 4th for BXG this Saturday. Yeah. Listen, kid. Yeah, we got Brandon Moreno. It's in Mexico. It's fucking perfect. People forget, man. Max arguably gave Ilias toughest fight. Oh, no. You know, you said it, not me. Max Holloway, man, he was doing pretty good. Dude, that was one of my first predictions that I predicted Max Holloway. That was one of the first predictions I ever did when I started my channel, and I went with Max Holloway. And I remember watching it live, and I was like, I told you. I was saying it to myself because I wasn't even like live or anything. I was just in my room by myself. But I was like, I told you. When Max started like piecing him up a little bit, I remember screaming at the screen like, I told you. And then he gets fucking KO'd. That was good, dude. That was a sick fight. I swear, if the PFL signs Rico before the UFC, it's probably gonna happen, bro. He's probably gonna box and then get signed to like the PFL or like Octagon or some shitty promotion. I don't know. Yeah, Josh Hokett, right? He started in the NFL. Who are you betting the house on? Brandon Moreno. I think Moreno's gonna clap him pretty easily. You never know. The sport makes no sense sometimes, but I really do think Brandon Moreno is gonna make easy work of him. I'm worried, you know. Loner Kavanaugh's got some striking. He's got some speed, but Tom Brady would be a 10-time defending champ if you gave him 1 year of prep time. Bro, Tom Brady, like, unironically would actually be like a freaking... He would be a freaking legend in the UFC. I hope Brandon Moreno gets his bounce back. Midget weight is not a big draw. I agree. Sadly. This main event won't be as bad as Burns. Oh, yeah, this one's better than, like, Burns Malat and, like, Moicano Duncan for me. Brandon Moreno is flyweight Charles Oliveira. How could you hate him? I don't know. He really, like, doesn't have any bad fights or anything, but... And he fought Ilya at 145. Exactly. Hey, man, Ilya, you know, he's got his work cut out for him when he fights Max at 155. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully. We need the Big Show to save heavyweight. I don't know, man. His knees might be too cooked. I'm not... He's like 80 now. I think his knees might be shot. Oh, yeah, Gable Steveson. I forgot Gable Steveson exists, right? But I heard that he, like, looked ass in his last fight. What do you guys think? I heard Gable Steveson. I don't know if you guys watched it. I heard Gable Steveson didn't look the best in his last fight, which is like, yeah, no shit. People were like, dude, Gable Stevenson's going to be a future champ. Like, put him in the top 5 now. He'd smoke. I'm like, bro, he's got like 2 wins against like fat bums on the regionals. Like, people, like, I was proven kind of right. Like, it was just like, what are you doing, bro? I don't understand. I heard he didn't look the best. I saw he got freaking wheel kicked and like sweat flew off of his head. Like, I saw he got clean. Like, he's got a chin, to be fair, because he got like hit with a clean wheel kick. I know Max got that chin, but he seriously, people are seriously sleeping on Dubronk's hands because he's the sub king. Yeah, he does have great hands, to be fair. Unless he's fighting us. And by us, I mean Ilya Saporia. No, I'm kidding. I'm looking forward to seeing the debut of Emmanuel Rodriguez. That name sounds familiar. Let me see. Is he on the Mexico card? Low key. Oh yeah, man. I know this guy, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Yeah, he is on the Mexico card. Low key, this Mexico card is not too bad actually. Why is this like kind of good? It's got like Marlon Vera versus David Martinez. It's got like Moreno, Loner Kavanaugh. It's like, okay, that's gonna be a good fight. Bobby Green versus Daniel Zellhuber could be a banger. Sharaz always has Edgar Sharaz always has good fights. Santiago Luna's a great prospect. There's some sick fights on here, low key, bro. This Mexico card is kind of a banger. Low key, just low key though, just low key. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I saw clips. We need Ozempic to save heavyweight. Who did Gable Steveson fight that last fight that he didn't look good? What, the one that just happened? I don't know his name, but he looked like a Mexican or something. I think he looked like kind of Mexican, but I don't know the guy's name. I just know that like he got hit with like a wheel kick and like a few shots, and like he didn't look the best. Which it happens, like right? Like I'm not like judging him for it, but I'm just saying like a lot of people are saying he'd run through like some of the top five. I'm like, you guys are kind of crazy. Gable who? Gable Steveson. Now imagine what Tuivasa would do to Gabe. Listen, kid, Ty Tuivasa is one fight away from a comeback, one snack away from obesity, and one fight away from a comeback. Gable's got a good chin. Yeah, he does have a good chin, to be fair. Just keep a win from Walter Walker. See, that's the thing. I think like Walter Walker. I think like Steven Asplund. I think Steven Asplund would do. I think Steven Asplund would have like a Holloway Cater type performance on Gable Steveson. I don't know. I love Steven Asplund though. I'm a glazer of him. He's awesome. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He had a fight with Loki, I forgot his name. Is it Sean Sheriff or something? I don't know. Some heavyweight like in the Apex. It was sick, bro. It was sick. Who's that guy? You got to check it out, bro. I'm sorry, but Steven Asplund is actually sick. Like he's a really sick heavyweight. He's a bit hittable, and like I feel like I don't know about his grappling. He might just get subbed by like some fat blob, but like he's actually got like really quick hands, and he's got like good footwork. He's really good. He's Josh Hokett's another one as well. Josh Hokett is incredible. They might actually Josh Hokett, Steven Asplund, and Walter Walker might actually save this godforsaken heavyweight division. So we got some light at the end of the tunnel. You know, at the end of the tunnel. I can't speak today. I don't know what's happening. At the end of the tunnel. There you go. BXG's Hawaiian confirmed. Sometimes someone getting kidnapped by the cartel. You Duncan or Moicano? I got Duncan. In that one. Listen, kid, Chris Duncan's gonna put and that's the thing with Duncan. He's got like this Yuri factor where it's like every time you bet against them, he wins. Maybe not a Yuri factor because Yuri pretty much always wins if it's not Alex Pereira. But like, yeah, Duncan is great. I like Duncan a lot. He always wins somehow. He just always somehow wins. He is a bit of a cockroach. Damn word, yeah. Loki, we all transforming back into casuals. We need names on fight cards. Yeah, we kind of do. Like, I don't know. I don't mind, like, some of these cards coming up, but they are missing kind of the name value. I don't think it's that bad, though. Like, again, like, I think the Mexico card is pretty solid, but it's just, where's the names, you know? It's got Cheeto Vera on it, and it's got, Brandon Moreno. That's really, those are the two biggest names, I think. And Bobby Green, So it's got names, but it's just like, low-key, they should cut down the fight nights. I would cut down the fight nights. The fuck? The cartel's here. The cartel's here. The cartel's here. No, I'm joking. I shouldn't say that. Why are my dogs barking? They only bark when I go live. When I do videos, they never bark. They're quiet as mouses. Then when I go live, they bark all the time. What is this? Anyways, I think it's cool now. Why do I have 40 viewers? Am I getting like rated by somebody? Why are my dogs barking? It's pissing me off. What's up, Decorium? What's up, Bennett? We got a few of the boys here. Gabe ain't ready for the Gone eye pokes. What's up? Gable needs to fight real fighters. I agree. I'm fucking sweating too. Yo, what's up? Hello, what's up? Bosnian 2005. Yuri versus the cartel. I think Yuri Prohaska would unironically spinning elbow every member of. Actually, can I even say that without them killing? They're gonna kill me for saying that. Also, Artem Vatikov. Another one. Yeah, Artem Vatikov. They just didn't want to sign. The Yuri comparison is valid. Yeah, I feel like Chris Duncan has that kind of Yuri factor to him, where it's just like, this guy. It's just hard to bet against him when he somehow cockroaches his way to a win. And it's not. I say like cockroaching, like he's good. Like he actually is a good fighter. Like it's not that he's like fluking these wins, but it's just like he kind of just somehow always wins. It's weird. Conor versus Prates, what do you think? Yeah, we spoke about this a bit earlier. Prates is going to slime out Conor. Do I think it's happening? It wouldn't surprise me. But Pratis is gonna slime him out. It's just like it's names. Their names. It's got like it's Pratis. It's McGregor. It's gonna be like like seeing that on a poster or seeing that like on a card is like incredible. The interactions they're gonna have, the trash talk we might get, like it's gonna be But the fight itself just doesn't really. It's just so one sided. It's like hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Um, Boxing isn't just hands, dude. Footwork, side to side, head off center, inside out, counter striking, changing angles, fast jabs, head movement. Charles lacks almost all of these qualities. Yeah, look, see, Nitro, you don't want to mess with Nitro, man. He's one of the best Max Holloway. He's a Max Holloway super fan, all right? Nah, I'm joking. They want in on the show. Yeah, I think they just want to join the stream. Shout out to the dogs. Yeah, I love the dogs, man. Hey, you remembered my name. Yeah, I got a good memory, I know I got CTE, but like it doesn't always affect me. He's not going to show us his mulatto toes. 10K subs, maybe. Year will remind them of a Dragon Ball character. Yeah, true. I wonder why that is. Why did they like Dragon Ball? Who would win, Prime Dillashaw or Sean O'Malley? Ooh. Dillashaw's got grappling though, right? Dillashaw's got the grappling. Dillashaw's got grappling. I don't know. I might go Dillashaw. He's got grappling. Remember when Hawkeye turned into Ronin and killed some Yakuza members? Yeah, that's how Year versus the cartel. Yeah, it would just be like a John Wick movie, bro. Who's your pick for Brady versus Buck? I think I got Buck. Via like a TKO. Maybe Brady has some wrestling success, maybe early on, but I don't know. I can't trust that chin, bro. He's just getting TKO'd by Bilal and then just one shot from Morales just instantly shells you up. It's just awful, bro. I can't trust him. Conor will return in Avengers Doomsday. Conor's power did not translate too well to 155. Exactly. That's a good point as well. Let alone 170, who looked like a fool there. He's going to get slimed out by Protests. JG2, my guy, man. One of the goats of this shit. Can you go on a 10-minute John Jones rant, please? Here's the fucking thing. John Jones, he's an absolute... no, I don't got it in me no more. I'm sorry. I don't got it in me no more. John Jones, bro, he's just... I'm John Jones fatigued at this point, dude. Like, the thing is with John Jones, man, I think he's lost so much stock. You see his name in a headline. You see his name in a tweet. You see his name in a YouTube video. You see his name in an interview. You just scroll past at this point. You just skip past. It's just like the fatigue is real. John Jones, I got so much fatigue for the guy that it's just not even funny. The guy he needs to go hang out with Dan Hooker. They need to do a freaking entire training camp together, or they just have freaking... Actually, I don't want to say that part. You understand what I'm trying to say. John Jones, go away, please. All right. There you go. I tried. Not 10 minutes, but Dillashaw all day. I got Dillashaw too. I think his grappling is going to be the factor there, and his speed. If Brady loses this one, I don't know what he's going to do because the PI told him he'd have to cut off a limb. I did see that. Yeah, he said, oh, he wants to make 155 and he can do it. I think most of us thought that was just retarded. Like, how the hell is Sean Brady going to make 155? And obviously the UFC literally told him the same thing. It's like, bro, you'd have to cut off a fucking ankle and a freaking wrist to make 155, bro. And a leg. And your nose. I mean, that nose is pretty flat anyways. Just like John Jones's. Wait, actually, what? Can Conor even make 155 anymore? Nah. He looks in good shape, though. Like, he could make 170, but 155, no. I doubt it. For real. Yeah, shout out JG2, man. One of the GOATs. This might be my most old head take, but I think Dominic Cruz would beat Sean O'Malley. Don't tell bedtime. Ooh, I don't mind that take. It's a bit of an old head take, but I don't mind it. Cruz, I'd probably go O'Malley personally, because I think, the head kicks from O'Malley and some of the teeps to the body, But at the same time, bro, you know, Cruz is elusive. He's got good footwork. I don't know. I might lean towards O'Malley, though, but it's not a bad take. JG2 versus Chase Sister. You guys love, is it? What do you guys love, Chase Sister? I think it's you, Nitro. I'm paying attention to you, man. He piked Dan Hooker. Got in just in time. My guy, Dig, what's up? He said, got in just in time to hate on the bum John Jones. Okay, I'll be right back. 1 second. Like 5 seconds. Okay, that was like 10 seconds. Sorry. Joe should be serving a life sentence for all his crimes. Oh, John. Yeah, John Jones, bro. It's just like, again, the fatigue is real. Chase Sister 10-7 JG2. Hey, dude. I mean, look at her brother, man. She's got the grappling. She's got the freaking jiu-jitsu. You know? Prime Dillashaw versus, fuck is that? Giant hair. Holy shit. John Jones's hair. Wait, he's bald. Prime Dillashaw versus Peter Yan. Ooh, dude, there's so many fights I wish. That's the thing. I feel like that's why part of me doesn't mind if they were to actually somehow do Hamzat Yuri, because low key, like, there's so many dream matches we just never got that I almost just want them to do them, but they do have to make sense. Ilya versus Islam made sense. They should have just... Islam didn't want the smoke, let's be honest. Let's be honest, he didn't want the smoke with us. They should have just did Ilya Islam, bro. I know he didn't want... He wanted to move up, but, like... Could they have not thrown, like, an extra 0 on that contract or something, bro? Ilya Islam, 317, instead of... And you could have done, like, Charles versus Arman, co-main event, for, like, nothing. For like, no title. Just, like, for just the nothing title. But instead, it's like, I don't know, bro. We'll never get Ilya Islam. That should have happened. That's going to be a big, like, what-if type of fight. I think Ilya would beat Islam. At 170, I might favor Islam, but you never know. O'Malley's fighting fans. I did see he was sparring like a fan or something, or like a streamer. I think Prime Cruz's timing plus level changes would frustrate O'Malley. Yeah, I could see it, man. I could see it. I feel like O'Malley... I don't know. Is O'Malley in his prime anymore either? That's the thing. O'Malley just hasn't been looking good recently. Cans compare TJ and Cruz's records to O'Malley's. We could do that right now. Let me look at... Feels like the one of me. Okay. Let's go. Let's start with Dillashaw, right? Or let's start with Cruz. What's up, bro? What's up, BFat 387? I found your channel on the dark web. How is... Huh? How is... Why? Are they about to slime me out? Is that what's about to happen? Am I about to get slimed out? Well, you know, they can't slime me out because I'm connected. Let's just say I'm connected. No, I'm joking. Okay, let's look at Cruz's resume. We got Vera versus Cruz. Should we start? Let's start from the bottom. I don't want to start from like recent stuff. It's not fair. Starting from the... Okay, his first fight in the UFC was Uriah Faber. I thought he would have more fights. Uriah Faber, he beat Demetrius Johnson. Hold on, people forget, man. He beat Demetrius Johnson, Mizugaki. All right. He beat TJ Dillashaw. He beat Uriah again. He lost to Cody Garbrandt. Obviously, the famous performance, one of my all-time favorite performances. That's a casual thing to say, I know, but he lost to Cejudo. Not a bad stoppage, low-key. Kenny. I don't know who that is. Munoz. Damn, he's not had that many fights, huh? What the fuck? He's had like one fight a year or something. I don't know. That's it. That's his resume. And then it's Munoz, who he beat. And then it's Cruz, who he got KO'd by. Or, sorry, then it's Vera, who he got KO'd by. Damn, he's got a pretty, like... I don't know. Anyways, we'll look at Dillashaw's in a second. I just want to read some of your comments. Cruz would make O'Malley gas out. Okay, now let me look at... Still a good resume, by the way. Not a bad resume at all. Dillashaw, did I spell that name right? I'm like a TJ Dillashaw fan. Like I know he popped for whatever and stuff, but like when I was a kid, Dillashaw was one of my favorite fighters. I was a big Dillashaw guy. Pause. Like, I don't know. I know why people don't like him, but I was always a Dillashaw kid. Even over like Garbrandt. I was more of a Dillashaw fan than Garbrandt. Like, to be fair, I didn't know like all the stuff about him, like that he's a bit of a snake. I didn't know like any of that, to be honest. I just liked the way he fought more, and I liked his name. I thought his name was cooler. This is young BXG. I got into an argument with an inbred Indian Chechnya dude. That's an interesting combo. About how Ilya is better and more entertaining to watch over Hamza, but bro would not give up. You just can't even argue with those people, right? It's just like they don't really live on the same planet as most of us. They don't live on the same planet as us. Like I don't know how you could think like... I understand Hamza has had entertaining fights throughout his career, but like compare that to Ilya's, it's not a comparison. And also who Ilya is sliming out. Hamza, like, he's not sliming out like the name's Ilya is sliming out. Like, yeah, you could say, he slimed out Whitaker. Then what? He slimed out Duplessis? Not really. He slimed out Usman? No. Who else did he slime out? Okay, Kevin Holland he slimed out. He didn't even slime out Gilbert Burns. Sick fight, but he didn't slime him out. Ilya is sliming out freaking these legends. Was DDP versus Chimaev so boring because DDP is so strong Chimaev could not go for a finish? Yeah, I was thinking that as well. I think Dricus Duplessis, this man right here, I think Dricus is such an anomaly of a fighter. He has the strength of an ox and a gorilla combined that I feel as though Hamza Chimaev legitimately couldn't have any success because of the strength of Dricus. Now, people are going to say, that's cope or whatever, but... I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just stating the facts. I always mention to Daggies that both stars a PDF and they don't even care. I mean, because some of them agree with it. Wasn't Che once advertising his sister's social media on stream because she's a model? Something about that rubbed me the wrong way. I think she has a channel. But yeah, I don't know. It's not what I would do, but I'm not going to judge him for it, but it's kind of funny. BXG's mogging us with the Mexican cartel drip. People forget, man. BXG's Mexican maxing, even though he's Puerto Rican. Ilya versus Islam is the GDP. Yeah, it's just... I don't know, bro. It is what it is. I hope we don't miss out on that fight, but we probably did. If a red dot appears on your head, we will shout duck, bro. Thank you. Just give me that warning, all right? Just give me that warning. Or if you hear John Jones laugh in the background, then you know it's over. Hamza did not inflict any damage on DDP, and none of his wins have aged good. I agree with that as well, to be honest with you. Whatsoever, but they swear he's prime PS3 Kratos. Yeah, they're like, Hamza Chimaev. Dude, oh my gosh, bro. Hamza Chimaev fans, now that you're saying that, they love to do like the... They'll put like a like the gif of him like smiling. He's doing that stupid smile. I can't even do it. He's doing that like stupid like evil smile. They always put that gif of him like doing the evil smile. Like, oh, I hate it. It's just so annoying. Anyways, pre-UFC record. Okay, I can look at his pre-UFC record. I'll check Tapology. The DJ fight was 2 months after the Faber fight. That's a great back-to-back win. That is pretty sick, to be fair. What happened to those times? Nobody fights 2 months back-to-back anymore. The DJ fight... there's a little snake in the grass right there. I tried. That's a shitty Connor impression. Alex did what people claimed Chimaev would do. Dude, Alex is awesome. I don't know how Alex Pereira has any haters. He's, like, actually fantastic. Whitaker had a freak injury. I always said that as well, to be honest. That's one of the reasons I picked Dricus was like, whoa, Hamzat's last win was it was a fluke basically. I didn't say it was a fluke, but like Whitaker did have a freak like injury, like you said. That was one of the reasons I picked Dricus was because I saw people like glazing the Whitaker win, and I'm like, oh, there's an asterisk to it, but it's still a good win, but there is an asterisk for sure. Hamzat fanboys think that he's entitled to a Pereira fight because I know it's like, bro, he's not like, his resume is not even like that amazing. It's like, okay, Usman Whitaker, it is pretty good. It's good, but like, took Usman to a fucking close decision, to Gilbert Burns to a war decision. Whitaker, a little bit of a freak injury, and then DDP just did no damage. It's just there's a lot of asterisks to his resume. That's the weird part. Shama is so base. Love Shama. Team Drickus, yes sir. What do you think? Who do you think would win if Ilya and Strickland fought? Strickland, no. Yeah, Strickland for sure. Strickland. Absolutely, Sean Strickland. Brother, you need to challenge MMA Joey. Has anyone else noticed that his ears appear and disappear constantly? He looks like a lost Andrei Arlovsky son with the. I've never noticed his ears disappearing, but I need to challenge MMA Joey. To what? A duel? I mean, I've called him out so many times. I have called him out a lot of times. Not to like fight, but I'm saying like I've like called out his bad takes, I'm saying. And I'll continue to do that. Okoye's been, he's been a good little boy. He hasn't really said nothing crazy recently. Calling a black dude a boy is crazy. I'm sorry. I've never seen Ilya and Hamza debuted the same year, and look how much Ilya has accomplished in two of the hardest. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And Ilya is not even that active, and he's still already done all that. I've never seen a non-Muslim Hamzat fan. MMA Joey and like Okoye, and that's it. It's just those two, and that's it. Now Pereira is the Kratos. Great comparison. Yeah, Alex is the Kratos of MMA for sure. He's the Kratos. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I really do think Alex might win that heavyweight title, Even if Alex Pereira wins the interim heavyweight title from Cyril Gane, let's say he gets slept by, like, I don't know, Tom Aspinall afterwards, he's one of the GOATs. I don't know if he's the GOAT, but he's one of the GOATs. I don't know if I'd say he's the GOAT, though. But, like, for him to be technically a 3-weight division champion, even though it would be for the interim, it's, kind of crazy. I never thought Alex would have this much success. I never thought Alex would have this much success in the UFC personally. I remember picking him to be Izzy the first time they fought. I wasn't doing YouTube, so, there's no proof that I picked him to be Izzy, but I did. I said he'd KO Izzy. He'd slime out Izzy. That was my prediction. I was like, I'm going to go with Alex, That was what I thought was going to happen. And in the rematch, I thought he was going to KO Izzy again. That didn't happen, but then he goes on, he moves up a weight class, then he goes on to have this crazy run. It's just insane. Only the GOAT people hate Alex? Yeah, it's just weird. I don't get it. There's nothing to hate about Alex Pereira. If Strickland beats Hamza and defends the title, twice, he will be. Yeah, I think Strickland could actually be one of the GOATs. If he beats Hamza, let's say beats like Drickus in a rematch and then beats like Baraujo maybe or I don't know, somebody, then he'd probably be the middleweight GOAT for sure. Yeah, man, please don't ever do the Conor. That's why I don't do impressions, man. I leave it to the big boys. Pause. Drickus is the GOAT. We know why Hamzat won. Yeah, Drickus is the undisputed greatest of all time. Dana shut down. I miss Drickus, bro. Where the fuck is he? Dana shut down the 205 Hamzat fight. Yeah, I'm so glad that's not happening. Because he has to defend his title. Champion fight should be to knockout or submission. That's interesting. What do you guys think of that take? Championship fights should only be won via knockout or submission. That's actually an interesting thing. I've never heard of that. But there's a lot of guys that would never win. There's a lot of guys that wouldn't have any title defenses. No, I don't know. I think most champions could get finishes, though, right? I mean, I look at every champion. It's like Pantoja, he's got a few finishes. Well, it's Joshua Van now. Joshua Van's got a few finishes. like it. I feel like Joshua Van would do good. Like if let's say the UFC was like no time limits, I think Joshua Van would do good. I could see him doing good. I think like Drickus would be a freaking the goat. I think who else would do good in like no time limit like UFC fights? Drickus, Marab, just because of his cardio. Peter Yan, I feel like he doesn't have the best cardio, but like he's got so many tools to freaking destroy you. Same size and weight, who wins? Gaethje versus Strickland. Um, that's a good question. Same size and weight, Gaethje versus Strickland. Same size and weight, Strickland. I'd say Strickland. He still is more skilled than Gaethje. Alex made more progress in grappling in 4 years. Kind of crazy, bro. Like how much. I know he's working with Glover though. Glover obviously is a great grappler, but really impressive. Interesting name, Patty Spud. uh, MMA Joey calls UFC fighters bums. I meant. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, MMA Joey. The irony, is just crazy. Alex only has one threat at heavyweight, and it's Tom. And Tom, by the time he recovers, will no longer be so young, and ring rust will catch up. I agree with you, to be honest with you. It's just the eye stuff, the ring rust, like you said, the age. It's just not looking good for Tom. I love Tom, but like, come on. Alex looks like an Egyptian god, yeah. Yeah, we got to cast him in more movies. Greetings from Mexico, says Inika Ayodi? Inika Yodi? What's up, man? Greetings from America. You're in Mexico right now. God bless you. Stay safe. I know it's a little bit crazy with what's going on, but God bless you and stay safe, and shout to Mexico. Sure, buddy, says a Nitro. Alex should be on the Mount Rushmore of the UFC. He's one of the GOATs. Well, it's supposed to be Patty Spud, like it's always funny. Like it's always sunny. He says, I was playing. Imagine how depressing the big divisions would be if Alex did not come. He legitimately saved this freaking sport, bro. What would have happened, bro? We would have gotten, Adesanya versus, Strickland. And maybe Strickland would have just beat Adesanya sooner then. And maybe it wouldn't be that different for middleweight, right, to be fair. Because Adesanya was already getting older. He was already kind of But then it's light heavyweight and heavyweight. Who would be? I think Yuri would just be the champion right now. He would. We would have already seen Yuri KO Ankalaev and Roundtree. It would have just been the Yuri Prohaska show at 205. Is my kind of guess. So it would be probably just right now the champions would be Yuri and probably still Hamza or maybe Strickland. If Alex didn't exist. I like that. Yeah. Nick Diaz too back then. Yeah, Nick Diaz would have been a monster. Strickland would piece up Gaethje. Yeah, he would for sure. I think Gaethje's good, but especially this version of Gaethje who's just a bit fatter and slower. Even if they were the same size, like the hypothetical said, I'd still pick Strickland. Alex has come back from the dead to get his revenge, just like Kratos. Isn't that that's gonna be such a historical Remember when Alex Pereira came back and slimed out Ankalaev? We're gonna look back on that in 10 years. Where were you guys when Alex Pereira slimed out Ankalaev in 1 minute? That to me is one of the greatest UFC moments of all time. It's just crazy. The fact that he lost a shit boring decision to Ankalaev, I counted him out. I was I think Ankalaev is probably going to beat Alex in the rematch and blah, blah, blah. And for him to then just slime out Ankalaev just like that, and now Ankalaev is just gone into his cave. We've never seen him since. It's just so funny. All the Ankalaev fans, Big Ank and oh man. Dude, oh man. I'm thinking about it. I'm just smiling. What a time. What a freaking time, huh? What a time. All the Big Ank shit, the glazing of Ankalaev. Dude, Big Ank. Dude, Ank owes Alex and the gifts and the memes and all that stuff. the trolling that us Alex fans had to endure for like the last few months before obviously the rematch. The glazing of Ankalaev, his boxing is the best we've ever seen. You know, he would beat John Jones in his prime and stuff. I still think Ankalaev is like pretty good. I'm just saying, it's just funny. I still think Ankalaev is like a good fighter. Like I think he could be like, you know, he could probably beat like Roundtree and like some of the other top guys like Oberg, you know. I just think it's a bit funny. Um, Brazilian Kratos, yeah. We need Alex Pereira to star in more movies. I want to see him star in a freaking God of War movie or something. I don't know. I know he's doing a movie with A24. I think he's like the villain of the movie or something. It looks pretty scary, but I want to see Alex Pereira play like a freaking horror villain. Yuri's the people's champ. Alex is too, yeah. Yeah, Yuri's a freaking legend, bro. People forget, man. Yuri Prohaska is a homosexual. Anyways, no, he's not. Sorry. Yeah, just make an edit with Kratos' tattoo. If only Alex was a bit younger, he is already the savior of 2025. Yeah, imagine if Alex Pereira was like 25 or like 28. Oh my gosh, dude. Like Ilya. Good thing Ilya is only like 28, I think, or like 27. Like, but even though Ilya, he says he wants to retire like young, so it's just kind of like it's not the best sign. But if they pay him, he'll stick around, I think. That's the thing. I could see with how much money it seems like UFC, with how much money it seems like, you know, Dana is paying for these like Zuffa boxers. I could see like a lot of guys like Ilya, Gaethje, O'Malley going to Zuffa boxing like after their career is done. Because if they're getting paid like that much, like I could see a lot of those guys making those like natural transitions. Just for like one fight or two, you know, like I could see like even an Alex Pereira versus like I don't think it's crazy to say Alex might fight like a heavyweight at like, you know, on a Zuffa boxing card in like 3 years or something. Maybe not though. Maybe Dana doesn't want that. I don't know. Maybe Dana's not for like that sort of transition for those guys. Maybe he wants to keep it just mainly legitimate boxers, not like MMA boxers. I don't know, but I think it would be cool. Like, let's do Poirier Gaethje 3, but in boxing or something. I don't know. Or let's do Tony Ferguson versus somebody in boxing. Tony Ferguson versus, like, Poirier in boxing. I don't know. Why not? Paul Craig owns Ankalaev. Yeah, I miss Paul Craig, man. Why'd you remind me? And Yuri is the guts of MMA. Yeah, he is the freaking, shouts of Berserk. Correct dig. Alex just needed the confidence in his power. Yeah. Honestly, I do believe that, like he said, I do believe he was injured. I do believe he had norovirus and stuff like that. Like, it was a pretty valid excuse. At first, I thought he was just coping a little bit. I'm not going to lie. One of my most popular videos, I don't even think it was that good of a video at all. I thought it was a really, like, kind of weak video. And it's not one of my most popular anymore. I've had a few videos surpass it, but at the time, one of my most popular videos was me saying that Alex was like, you know, coping and lying about his injuries and stuff. And I didn't want to do that video, but I felt like, you know, I had to keep it fair. But it seems like he wasn't coping. Ankalaev would be a tough fight for John Jones at 205. I do think so. Like, I know I just clowned him, but like John doesn't have the power of Alex. He doesn't have the timing, I don't think, on the feet of Alex. I don't think he has the grappling wouldn't be that much of a threat for Ankalaev. Yeah, I do think he has a pretty solid chance, to be honest with you. Like, I know I just shitted on Ankalaev, but like, you know, he's still good. He's still pretty good. Strickland has more power in his hands than John. I honestly, unironically, yes, he does. John Jones has no power. That's why he had to take steroids, because he's not that athletic. If Pereira got into MMA early, would he still be a great striker? His kickboxing experience is what puts him above the opponents on the feet. That is a good point, to be honest with you. Yeah, for him, it would have to be like he gets into kickboxing early or something, right? Because that is a great point. Like, the hundreds of, I don't know about hundreds, but like the dozens of kickboxing fights really does factor into why his timing is so good, his distance management, his speed, his slickness, his footwork. So yeah, you are right in that sense. I just wish, like, if we can somehow just make him, if we could just de-age freaking Alex Pereira by like 5 years or something, but he could keep all of his like all of his like experience and all of his timing and stuff, but just de-age him physically. What's up, my guy Derek? What's up, brother? Alex is the light heavyweight GOAT since John is a steroid cheat and DC's resume is overrated. I agree on the DC take. I think me and MMA Che have a very similar slanderous views on DC. I like DC as an analyst, and he's one of my favorite fighters. Don't get me wrong, but like, I just do think he's just like just a little bit overrated. I'm sorry. Let's see. Nasruddin Amavov says Sean Strickland is ducking a rematch with him. Wait, what? Okay, this just came out like a few minutes ago. Amavov thinks Strickland is ducking him. Let's see this. Of course he's ducking. He's ready to get choked by Hamza. That's not painful. He's not ready to get destroyed and end up with a bloodied face. I've been asking for him to the UFC for 2 years, and even after KOing Adesanya. Everything will be different in the rematch in the weight class with the proper camp for facing him. He'll end up uncaught. Listen, kid, you're getting slimed out by us, bro. You're getting jabbed and teed by us, little bro. What is he talking about? He literally like beat him like on short notice. I get it was short notice. You never know. He might do a little bit better, but like stylistically, it's just not like favorable at all. Alex is what's good? Top 5 best rivalries? Good question. Great question. Amazing question. DC Jones, right? You got to have DC Jones. Israel Adesanya versus Pereira. So Adesanya, Pereira, DC Jones. Adesanya, Pereira, DC Jones. Habib versus Conor. These are kind of casual answers, I'm sorry, but like these are like the best rivalries in my opinion. Ooh. Dricus and Strickland had a great rivalry. I don't know if I'd put that like Dricus and Strickland had a great, like, maybe not the fights themselves. The fights themselves were good, but like the trash talk was like really great. Chael and Vanderlei's a good one. Conor and Aldo. McGregor and Aldo is up there as well. Fuck, dude. That one's iconic. All the press conferences, all the memeable moments. Damn. I'm trying to think of some other ones. What do you guys think in the chat? Best rivalries. That's a good question. DC is not overrated. Just slightly, in my opinion. I just think he's slightly overrated. Just slightly. DC is overrated. This guy says Yuri and Alex would have slimed him out. See, that I agree with. I think when people were like, dude, DC would just destroy Alex like so easily. I don't see what they see. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just don't see that. I don't see, like, I know a lot of people are like, dude, DC in his prime would slime out Alex. I just don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased, though. You got to think. I'm probably just biased, but, like, I really, really like Alex. But I do love DC as well. One of me. Flush it down the drain. Amavov cooked. No one wants to see him. Dude, Amavov is just, he's cool. Like, there's worse guys than Amavov, but, he's Amavov. He's just like, okay, he's French and he's Muslim and, Chael Vanderlei's up there. Sean dominated him on short notice, and Amavov was cheating like he always does, grabbing my hero Strickland and hitting him to the back of the head. Yeah, Mavov is a pretty dirty cheat. Why are him and Sorogan such dirty cheats? Like, is there anything they have in common? Being French? Is it because they're French? I'm joking. Shouts to the French guys. Oui. Not in a John Jones oui, but like I'm saying, like, bonsoir, oui. Je m'appelle. Voici. Voici. I don't know what I just fucking said. TJ versus Cody was good. That was a good rivalry. Oh, yeah. TJ versus Cody's a great one. Yeah. Great shout. Alex would flatline Johnny. Here's why. He's a half inch taller. His power is bigger. And his power is bigger than any of John's opponents. And he is immune to John's kicks since Alex's great kicks and eye pokes are not going to work due to Alex being big. Now, the Corium says, as much as I want to agree with you, but I think John has too much plot armor for Alex to beat him. It would probably be by close decision or a robbery. It's John versus Alex, huh? I want to pick Alex. Honestly, I would pick I would let my bias get in the way and I would just pick Alex and I would be delusional and I would probably be wrong. That's like one John Jones is probably the only fighter where I would actually let my bias get in the way and I would just actively pick him to lose every time. I don't care if he's facing Tai Tuivasa, I'm picking him to lose because I want to see him lose. I don't do that with other fighters though, but with John I would. With that being said, I think I'm gonna lean towards Alex, man. I'm gonna lean towards Alex as well. I think I think Alex's takedown defense is like really great, and I know people always think of but Adesanya took him down, but like he's improved so much with his grappling and his wrestling since then, and also like you got to think he's gonna be way bigger than he was at middleweight. You know, he's gonna be way bigger, way stronger. His timing is still great. His speed is still great. His leg kicks could really fuck up John's legs. Those snapping leg kicks, the jab to the stomach. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think John could, he could try to eye poke him and kind of run away, but like eventually he's going to get, caught a little bit. He was getting caught against like Stipe Miocic in round 2. Stipe Miocic actually won a round off of John Jones. People forget, man, Stipe Miocic actually beat John Jones in round 2. And he was kind of, putting some mustard on him a little bit. Not like crazy, but a little bit. BSD is the only French dude who doesn't foul. I love BSD, bro. BSD doesn't need to foul. He's actually good. That's the thing. He's actually like an elite fighter. I'm joking. He's not elite, but BSD is one of my favorites, bro. Even when people said he was washed and a bum and he sucked, I freaking rooted for him. And John never takes down someone as big as Alex on command. John never took someone down as big as Alex on command whenever he wanted. All his dominant performances are against one side. I agree with that as well. You're cooking. You got the freaking, the Rampage Jackson one and the Rashad Evans one. These guys were all smaller than John. Which you could say is not really his fault, but like it just is the reality that like who's the biggest opponent he's faced? Dominic Reyes, and we saw what happened there. When he faces somebody that's like close to his size, it's not like, you could say DC. DC obviously is probably his best win, but like DC, DC probably should have been a freaking middleweight, let's be honest. DC probably should have been a fucking middleweight. There's a few guys John fought that should have been middleweights. I think RDR and DDP both beat Strickland. RDR. That's interesting. I don't think RDR beat Strickland, but that's interesting. I'd like for you to explain to me, why do you think RDR beats Strickland? Obviously DDP, yes, he beat him twice. RDR is interesting though. Strickland destroys RDR. Yeah, I agree, but I'm curious why he thinks this. RDR is gassing in round 2. Yeah, I think Strickland like fucks him up really bad. Izzy versus Jones was a fight. Oh yeah, you're right. Izzy versus Jones. I do remember that. That was pretty close to happening, right? But then like Jones obviously moved up, and then Izzy lost to Jan Blachowicz. I don't think John would have fought him anyways. I don't know. John Jones is like really selective. He's like really, really, really selective with his matchmaking. I think John would have destroyed Adesanya. Don't get me wrong. I think he would have actually destroyed Adesanya, but he is really, really selective, and it's just kind of weird, in my opinion, why he is so selective. Well, not weird. He's a duck. That's just why he's selective, but it's like he is really selective, though. Well, it is weird because it's like, why did he duck like Chael Sonnen, of all people? Why did he duck like Chael? He is a weird guy, huh? Like, even Aspinall, it's like he thinks Aspinall is so cheeks. Why not just fight the guy? Like, he is very selective. Big Ank did not take him down for... Yeah, Big Ank, he had like 13 takedown attempts and landed none of them. And, after the fact, people will say, well, Ankalaev, he has no grappling. Even though before they... That's the funny part, right? MMA fans will say, Yeah, but Ankalaev's not that good of a grappler. But before the Alex fights, they were like, oh, but Ankalaev's going to ragdoll Alex. He's going to throw him against the octagon. He's going to throw him in the sky, spin him around on his finger, give him a swirly. Like, they were saying all this about Ankalaev's grappling. And then, like, after all his takedowns get stuffed, it's like, well, his grappling's not that good, actually. It's like, I know hindsight and stuff, and I know obviously people can change their minds, but I'm just saying, like, everyone was saying Ankalaev had good grappling. Then after he showed his grappling wasn't that amazing, everyone was just like, well, actually, his grappling's not that good. I said that in a really weird, convoluted way. I'm sorry. I'm kind of tired. If old Stipe can land on you and sting you and make you retreat, Alex would destroy you. I agree. Yeah, Alex would freaking... I think what I'm trying to say is, like, MMA fans have CT. Mavov lost to, except for you guys, Mavov lost to Chris Curtis, eye poke Baraujo, and knocked out Izzy with an eye poke. I did kind of forget that he eye poked Izzy before the KO. He's a dirty cheat, and got held down by Brendan Allen. He's cooked against Hamza. Give Strickland the shot. Low key, you know what? You guys are convincing me. Let's give Strickland the shot. Nah, I'm kidding. I always thought he should get the shot over this bum. People forget, man, he beat Gon in 2 minutes. I mean, you know, I'm going to say this, and of course, everything I say on this stream and in my videos are alleged, and I'm playing a character with everything I say. Alleged, I'm playing a character, and, you know, this is my opinion, but I do think if you were to ask me what UFC fight I think was the most rigged or most likely to be rigged, I would say John Jones versus Cyril Gane. I don't know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know. I truly think John Jones versus Cyril Gane, it felt like the most rigged fight I've ever seen. I'm just going to say it. MMA JAC, thank you for the $2, man. I appreciate it. He says, Nina Drama daughter or Dan Hooker son. Now let's think about this. Let's think about this a little bit. Because if they are like... Now, when you say Dan Hooker's son, obviously you're referring to him being a ass muncher, but does that also mean he could be a UFC fighter? Because then it's like, you know what? I might take Dan Hooker's son. If he's also going to be a UFC fighter, I'm taking Dan Hooker's son. I think I'm taking Dan Hooker's son. Great question. If it includes him being a top, not a top level, but let's see, if it includes him being a ranked UFC lightweight, then I'll take Dan Hooker's son, I think, over a kick streamer, interviewer, Nina Drama thought daughter. I mean, nice daughter. But again, thank you, MMA JAC, for the $2. I appreciate it, man. God bless you. Fluffy didn't use weed for this training camp. Yeah, the best base for MMA is drugs, it seems. I mean, just look at John Jones, sadly. Anthony Smith is one of John's bigger opponents, and it was a decision. And Reyes, Gustafsson, you know, OSP, I think, as well, even. Thiago Santos. I mean, you know, some of the actual light heavyweights that he fought, he took to like a lot of decisions. John versus Gane was a setup, 100%. Think, man. Yeah, I really do kind of think that fight was allegedly, in my opinion, a rigged fight. If Yan beat, that's my cope, I know, but if Yan beat Izzy, John treats Izzy like Hasbulla, dude. John would have destroyed Adesanya. MMA fans are heavily on the spectrum. We all are. Anything with John is a setup. Never enter a dark room when John Jones is in there. A juiced up Strickland finally got a win. You think Strickland was juiced for that fight? He did look in better shape, to be fair. But, I mean, you know, he's been out for a while. Like, he had a lot of time to do some sit-ups. Assuming all allegations are true. Yeah, I'll take the Dan Hooker son, I think. Gane now gets unlimited title shots. Yeah, I don't get it, bro. It is what it is. They really like the guy for some reason. True Ninja. Both are garden utensils. Gane put off... Oh, I get it. Okay. Both are hoes. Gane put a 0% resistance to John. The UFC paid him to sell so they can claim John is... Honestly, bro, no resistance at all. No resistance at all, bro. No resistance. I don't think Jones versus Gane was necessarily a setup, but it's definitely possible. And that months before the fight was announced, the UFC told Jones that he would fight Gane. Maybe. And Gon was not given the notice, so John had more time. Yo, wait, that's a good theory actually. That's actually a pretty crazy good theory. John Jones knew he was fighting Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane did not. That's interesting. Strickland should have to fight someone else to get a title shot. I think Sean Strickland should just be given the belt for free. What? BXG, what's up, Johnny? Are you thinking more about a TV and movies reaction channel? That sounds like a good fit for you, and I'd be interested to hear your reaction to clips episode. Yeah, I definitely have been thinking more about it, and it's something that it wouldn't be something too, I guess, difficult to start or do. Obviously, my focus would still be mainly on this channel. So, like, I don't think I would post on there, like, super frequently, definitely not, like, daily, but maybe, like, weekly, once or twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. But, yeah, I definitely have considered it, and, for sure, coming soon. I'll let you guys know, obviously. I won't do it in, like, I won't start it in, like, in the shadows, and then just, I'll tell you guys, like, hey, I got this other channel if you guys want to check it out, which I already have another channel. It has about like 500 subs. It's kind of just sitting there, like on my computer. But it was one of my older channels, and I just kind of like just gave up on it to start this channel. Giving top level a new meaning. Yeah, Dagestani has no grappling. Sure. I know, right? It's like, yeah, sure. Ankle can't grapple, right, kid? What's good? I don't take credit for that theory. I heard it from a YouTuber, Dag MMA. That's a good theory, to be honest, from him. Very good theory. Not something I ever really thought of. Easiest bag for Gon, yeah. Maybe that's why Cyril Gane is not like... Look, that's the thing as well. Cyril Gane is not really... let's just say he's not the most active. He's pretty content with being inactive because, I mean, he's got millions from that John Jones fight sitting in his bank. He's got like 30... They paid him 30 mil to take a dive. It wouldn't really shock me. Carlos Prates 1 hour ago. We were just talking about this fight. It looks like Carlos Prates kind of debunked it a little bit. I just spit. Carlos Prates, sorry. Wow. Carlos Prates says Carlos Prates says the Conor McGregor rumors are just speculation right now, and his main focus is still fighting Jack Della Maddalena next. Okay, so it's just rumors. We can't believe these freaking rumors anymore, guys. It's not even happening. There you go. Unless he's just like saving face, but flush it down the drain. I don't take credit for that theory. As if any Dagestani fighter's coach would let him have no grappling. I know they would just whip them with a stick. Brother, you take down now, and then just keep whipping them with a stick. I know. Obviously, Ankalaev is more of a striker type of Dagestani, but he can grapple. He took down Blachowicz. He took down like a few guys. See, that's the thing that pisses me off about the Ankalaev Alex thing. I picked Alex Pereira to KO Ankalaev the first time. I said Ankalaev's overrated. His striking is not that great. His striking defense is overrated. I was like, nah, dude, he's gonna KO him. You guys don't get it. And then Ankalaev freaking split decisions Alex, right? In the rematch, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I underestimated Ankalaev. I'm going to pick him to beat Alex in the rematch. And then Alex freaking molest Ankalaev in the rematch. It's just like, I got them switched, bro. I got my pick switched on that one. It pissed me off because I was so confident that Alex was going to be Ank the first time. I was so confident. But I guess I didn't think he would be sick with neurovirus and a broken hand. But that's the sport, folks. Gon is still a very big and strong heavyweight fighter, and John barely had that squeeze in. It just looked like he barely like just had the choke locked in or the submission. Do you share Strickland's opinions on Bad Bunny? Do I share his opinions on Bad Bunny? I don't know. I actually did watch the halftime performance. I thought it was solid. I mean, it's not really something that's I don't know. It doesn't bother me. It's not something that I like. No, I guess I don't. I guess I don't because it just, to me, it's not that big of a deal. I thought Nick Fuentes had a good kind of take on it where it's just like there's more important things to kind of rant about and care about, and I feel like people really care about that. Yes, I am Hispanic, so maybe I'm just biased, but I don't think that some Puerto Rican performing at the Super Bowl was that big of a deal, but that's just my opinion. I'll take it over freaking Kendrick Lamar, that little midget. Let's go, BXG's reactions. Yeah, I'll do it soon. I'll do it soon. I'll probably call it like, I don't know, maybe BXG, more BXG reacts. I don't know. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, kid. At this point, let Connor replace Dana. Hey, he'll bring the energy. He'll bring more energy than. Do they drug test though? That's the only question. That's the only question is, do they drug test these guys? Because that would be that would be a hindrance for sure. Gone was promised 4 title shots 1,000 years ago. Best MMA coach ever? That's a good question. What a burp. I don't know, actually. Best MMA coach ever? Best MMA coach? Habib? No, I don't know. Best MMA coach ever? Best MMA coach? I don't know. I'm a casual when it comes to coaches. Habib's coach? That's kind of what I was kind of thinking. Like, how is his name? Javier Mendez is like a coach of a lot of great fighters, to be honest with you. It doesn't Eugene Behrman coach like Volkanovski, Adesanya? He's got to be up there. He's got to be up there. Eugene Behrman, I think he coaches Volk. He coaches Adesanya. I think Dan Hooker, he's Dan Hooker, but like you got Volk and Adesanya. That's pretty good. For real, he has nothing else to do. Gable Steveson finishes gone, even as green as he is now. You think Gable Steveson finished? That's pretty. I don't think so. Not now. Give him like a few years. It's too early for me to tell, man. I don't know. Hot take, though. The reason Alex lost to Ank is because Alex was too active for a guy of such size. Or guess what? Loses happen on the elite. Yeah, that's true as well, right? I mean, exactly. Yeah, when you don't. I mean, yeah, that's a great point. It's like when you actively fight, you're gonna lose eventually. Habib would have eventually lost. I know people might say, well, we don't know that, but like I think he would have eventually lost. I think Islam is gonna eventually lose unless he retires within his next 2 fights. Just like Volk eventually lost, just like Ilya's gonna lose eventually. So we'll see. But when you're John Jones, who just actively ducks great opponents and just fights once every 2 years because you get suspended for popping steroids up your ass. Dana does mad nosed beers, bro. True, actually, that is true. I'd be forgetting Dana's a little bit of a. It just seems like but Dana seems like he's more like down, like he's on downers rather than uppers, Low right. I'd rather see Connor caned out on a sick one, hyping up the big. Yeah, I'd rather see Connor just like rubbing his nose with sunglasses on, like, on next fight. I can't do the Connor impression. I'm not even gonna try. I'm sorry. Habib's coach, Habib's dad was the best. Habib, Islam, Umar were his guys. Yeah, Habib's dad. I was thinking like Javier Mendez. I'm thinking like Eugene Behrman, Colt Connor, best promoter. Yeah, he'd be incredible. BXG, my pick is Javier Mendez from AKA. The results of his coaching is DC. Yeah, he's definitely, I think, my pick as well. DC, Habib, Islam, Rockhold, Kane, Velasquez, Umar. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's a little bit annoying sometimes with his takes, but I do think he's a great coach. Promoter Connor fucking with Mike Perry for no reason, and because Perry's slow, he just has that look on his face. Dude, Connor, I do really want Connor to come back, bro. We do honestly, we do need Connor. It's fucking hair in my ear. We do need a Conor McGregor return, bro. We need the freaking coked up Conor return. Man, I don't know. Connor's had a crazy last few years, man. He's locked in now. It seems. I don't know. He seems kind of locked in, but like the closet incident, the freaking, I don't know what else, the promoting he's been doing for BKFC, all those crazy moments he's had, the Ilya Arturo stuff. Like he's had a lot of freaking. He's had a pretty crazy retirement little run or whatever you want to call it. Funniest shit ever. Yeah. Habib's dad is up there. I love. Yeah, Habib's dad is great as well. Abdul Manap, rest in peace to him. Yuri Prohaska is in Mexico City. Oh no. Well, you know what? I just saw this. Yuri Prohaska is in Mexico. He's gonna slime out. Actually, I can't even say that. This is the thing. They're gonna slime me out if I say something. Conor McGregor still believes his return fight should be against Chandler. Is he gonna come back or what? That was kind of zesty with my hand there. Didn't Habib's father set those can fights up? Yeah, I think so. I think he actually did. I don't know if that was his promotion or anything, but like, I mean, they were 2-round fights. I know Johnny Monday's a big Habib fan, so I don't want to go in on Habib, but I did do a video kind of breaking down Habib's resume, and it's just, go check it out. It's on the channel somewhere. It's not that you shouldn't have to scroll that far, but yes, he did. Gina Carano got a big nose, but dong. So yeah, Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano, man, it's gonna be a sick fight, huh? It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a banger. All right, what time is it? I think I'm gonna head out. Unless you guys got anything for me, anything else you guys want to ask me. If not, I'm gonna head out, and I'm going to record my reaction to some of the fights that have been announced. Not really a video I'm super enthused to like record. I'm not saying that it's like whatever, but it's kind of dry right now. There's not really much going on in the MMA world. I mean, we had Dan Hooker getting exposed and some other stuff, but I'm missing like, I feel like we're missing like a big like fight announcement or something. I don't know. I feel like we're missing like a little bit of juice right now, but it's cool. Also, I just saw like Mayweather versus Pacquiao has been announced. What the fuck? Why is this happening? Okay, Mayweather Pacquiao, huh? I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, that's why, sometimes before I do those Habib videos, I'm like, I know who's going to be a bit upset by this. I know my guy's going to be a bit. It's not fair that Dagestani fighters a big part of the roster and refuse to fight each other and tailing of other countries cripple half of their own fighters. Yeah, I agree with you for sure. I mean, it is really, we've lost like so many good fights because of all these Dagestani fighters just not wanting to fight each other, and it is what it is. I don't know. Like I would still like to see a fight like Islam versus Hamza, but like, is that happening? Probably not. Or like even Bilal versus Islam should have happened, but he was like, Bilal seemed to be more like Bilal was like, nah, we're brothers. Islam seemed like he kind of didn't give a shit about Bilal. I'm just gonna be honest. It seemed to me like Bilal was kind of like the little brother to like Team Habib. He was just like the little brother that like was tagging along. Cause I don't know, I got the vibe like Islam and Habib, like if it really came to it, I think they would have snatched that fucking title from Bilal like that. But I think Bilal kind of just got lucky by losing. he got lucky by losing basically, because I do think Islam would have been down to fight Bilal, to be honest with you. I think he was hesitant, and he was kind of just like, I don't think he was like super eager to do it, but I think he really wanted that title. Islam versus Shavkat, yeah, Islam versus Shavkat's another one where it's like why not? Like, can we get this fight, bro? I don't know. It is annoying, dude. One of my dream fights was always Shavkat versus Hamza. It's never gonna happen, and it probably would have not been even that amazing. But like, this was when they were both like kind of coming up. I was like, oh, dude, Shavkat versus Hamza was like, that was a fight that I really wanted, bro. Shavkat Hamza, Umar versus 135, 145 Dagestani, yeah. I mean, there's not. Well, I guess Evloev, right? You got Evloev. Umar would never fight like Evloev or something. Dan Murgliata accidentally bet fight goes the distance and David Martinez by TKO. Huh? Oh, I'm watching the. I can't even. I don't think I could show it on screen because of copyright. I'm watching this finish from Dan Mergliotta where he literally the bell sounds and he lets the fight go on for an extra 10 seconds after the bell. Let me see if I could. I'll put it on the screen, but I'm not gonna play it. Hold on 1 second. This is actually what the fuck. When Dan Mergliotta accidentally bet fight goes to. Okay, so like basically, David Martinez is going for a finish. And you can see on the clock, it says, look here. Let me see at the bottom. You see it says 1 second, right? At the bottom. And then he proceeds to let the fight go on after the bell is after the round is already over. For 10 seconds, dude. Look at this. And then he steps in. But the fight is already, the round is already, freaking over. What the hell? Dan Mergliotta is, unironically the worst ref. I don't like Herb Dean, but Dan Mergliotta has had worse recent calls than Herb Dean, bro. It's what the fuck, dude. Anyways, I just had to pull that up. I don't think Shafkat would give a fuck. He was arguing with Ian Gary for that. Yeah, Shafkat's. I like Shafkat. I miss Shafkat. I do like Shafkat. I miss Shafkat. Shafkat was based. Oh, I miss Shafkat. Yeah, Habib's dad is not even close to the GOAT of coaches. He helped make sure Habib fought only cans. Diego Lopez versus Umar, Usman, or Magomedov. Diego Lopez versus Umar? Well, Umar would get slimed out by Diego. Versus Usman, I think Diego would beat Usman. I don't really rate Usman or Magomedov at all, to be honest. I don't know, bro. He took Paul Hughes. Imagine what Diego Lopez would do to Paul Hughes. It's just I don't know. Agreed. The doctor is Serbia's best representative, not Rakic. I agree. The doctor. I love freaking Uros Medic. I love Uros Medic. I'm really happy that he won. The doctor is here to help. Well, even though he puts people to sleep. These refs be making bets. Yeah, it's just it's so blatant at this point. It's just we get it. We fucking get it. You got this guy in your parlay. But, yeah, whatever happened to that, huh? Whatever happened to the freaking FBI looking into UFC fights? Nothing ever came of that. I mean, I know these things take a long time, but, nothing really ever came of, the FBI looking into the UFC or anything. It's kind of just I don't know. There's no holding me back. Shout out to Chris Benoit. All right, I think I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go record some vids. Stay tuned. If you have not already, check out my last few videos. I think they're pretty good. I am biased because I am myself. Will I be live tomorrow? I'm not sure. Probably, to be honest with you. Maybe. Probably. I'm going to try to go live more often, especially because there's not a lot going on right now in the MMA world. The FBI stumbled on the John Jones files. Yeah, they kind of just was it's a bit too crazy. It reminds me of that story where, these police officers, found this laptop and then they killed themselves afterwards. They probably didn't kill themselves, but, I think you guys know that story, right? Where it was, these cops that, went through this politician's laptop and they saw they saw things so disturbing that half of them killed themselves, but they didn't actually kill themselves, let's be honest. Anyways, that's the stream, and love you guys, and shout out to Sean Strickland for you fucking guys, for you guys. Let me spam this emoji here. Spam the Ilya emoji. Good night. Shout out to Bosnia. Shout out to fucking Serbia. Shout out to freaking America. Shout out to Strickland. God bless you guys. Good night. Peace. Righteous, brother. Right.